Let's Play of Scarlet Hollow. My name is Curio. I live in the city. Hamlet. Strong athlete, pinnacle of fitness. Keen eye. And mystical. Those fit me the best, I think. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again, and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing the bus with many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of her mother, your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. So anyway, as I was saying... Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. I'm not even sure he stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. I was up in Maryland, looking for work, mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the arbor, that sort of thing. You do your best to keep a blank face. Waking up and, by extension, accidentally giving him permission to keep talking to you was a mistake. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was going to call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad though, and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and she was getting closer and closer to the edge. So soon enough, she lost her balance and fell into the arbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh, but we fished her out and her phone got soaked, so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though, about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like, for real, and jeez, you ever get so mad, you just want to, like, kill somebody? I never feel that way. No. I have never wanted to kill anyone. Nah, you're young. You'll get it when someone tries to break your heart one day. It changes a person. Makes them think things they never thought they could. I honestly could have killed that woman. Anyway, she's giving birth to her son right now, so I'm trying to get up into Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, into that stuff. So I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. You sit, awash in horror, but doing your best to keep a neutral face as this man admits he's thought about murdering the soon-to-be mother of his child. A child whose birth he is currently missing and considering ditching to go have fun in New York. Anyways, where'd you say you were headed? I'm returning to my ancestral home. My mother fled from her destiny there many years ago, but now that both she and her sister are departed from this world, I can feel it calling me back. The young man anxiously shifts in his seat. For one perceptible moment, it's his turn to feel uncomfortable before he catches himself and heartily laughs. Oh, you must be talking about Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it in the mountains. That's the only other stop until this bus turns around, so if you aren't getting off at my stop, you must be headed off that way. Almost nobody ever goes there. I'm usually alone on the bus by now. Though, actually, I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work in the mine. Yeah, there's a coal mine up in the Holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. Never wanted to do the kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks. But my buddies got desperate enough to try it. Haven't heard from them in a while, now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook, see how they're doing up there. Hope they didn't die! Looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Ooh, this is me! It was lovely meeting you. Hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. Okay. They're boiled peanuts! I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. I mean, I like peanuts. I like peanut butter, but I don't eat food given to me by strangers. But I'm also not really into conflict. I'll just take it. You take the peanuts. Thanks. You're welcome. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. That guy's a weirdo. And just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow, end of the line. It's there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. Well, the sign reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk, though for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the door behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as the bus pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Hey, Curio. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin, Tabitha. She looks annoyed to be here. Hey, Tabitha. Come on, let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. The smell of old cars, man. There's something about the way old cars can smell. Oh, my dad used to have a car that he rebuilt. It smelled like there's a very specific kind of fungus. I'll always associate it with old cars. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. Tip: other options labeled Explorer can usually be taken without advancing the story. They can impact relationships and unlock additional story paths, so choose carefully. Well, I'm not trying to be tactless here. Funeral. Have we ever actually met? Have we ever actually met before? I'm pretty sure this is the first time, right? Yep. You have your mom to thank for that. Or had, I guess. I mean, I kind of wanna choose this, but I don't know how. I don't know Tabitha well enough to say like if she would react to that well or not. So, is there bad blood between us? All I know is my mom left and she was mad at this side of the family, but I don't know much besides that. Your cousin stares ahead, her expression icy. Okay, I'm gonna just be quiet. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. And there it is, the Scarlet Estate, the old family homestead. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you. Someone used to dingy apartments in the grey cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning underneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you, a jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it, perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like there's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. As soon as you enter, you're hit with a blast of dusty air. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive. Each object cemented in a place with the layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways on the wind. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen. And hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. I mean, I actually really like old, decrepit places. So I'm gonna just... I mean, I'm also like, whoa, girl, you live like this? But, you know, I'll probably have the chance to say that later. I want to say it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is. This estate was the prized jewel of this region for a long time. It's quite a magnificent piece of architecture, even now. Shall we take our tour? Follow me. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name's Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. Some explore options prevent you from taking others. Choose carefully. Someone cleans this place. I mean, the kitchen honestly doesn't look that bad. I've seen way worse places. I'm gonna ask. I can feel nature reclaiming this place. I feel a wild energy in this room, as if the natural world is creeping in to finally reclaim its territory. Okay, geez, I get it. You think it's messy. I'll tell Janie to be more thorough this week. You should know there's only so much anyone can do with the old country house this old. It's always going to be a little grimy and worn, unless you're sleek city apartments. If a little dirt bothers you, you're going to have a rough time this week. I mean, I like peanut butter, but peanut butter and jelly is... I don't like it. And, yeah. Is there someone in town to buy food? I might want to eat something other than a peanut butter and jelly this week. Is there somewhere in town we can get groceries? Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's a general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online, though, so I wouldn't be going with you. Sweet, thanks. Cool, good talk. Alright. I can just buy ice cream if I wanted it, if the general store has it. Alright, what's next on the tour? Bathroom. Follow me. Oh, great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. I mean, it's always nice to ask. Is that your cat? What's its name? Frou Frou. Do not try to pet her. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Yeah. It's, you don't pet cats. Like, you might extend your hand, like, as an invitation, and if they flinch away, you just let them do it. Because, you know, they're little murder animals. You don't pet cats that don't want to be pet. You decide to follow Tabitha's advice. Shall we move on? The bathroom awaits. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. Is that a toothbrush and a wine glass? That's amazing. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must if you must. Ooh, it's a nasty, wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. The lights are also flickering. This bathroom is really sketchy. I'm going to look. I mean, are you sure the toilet I mean, it probably does. And even if it doesn't, unless it's like has holes in it, you can leave your stuff in there. So I'm just gonna lift the toilet seat. Okay. You lift the toilet seat. Bugs skitter from the bowl. I mean, I've used really bad toilets in my life, I'm an expert hoverer, you might say. So, I'm gonna use them. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must, and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Next up, guest bathroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot, it has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. And this is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. That's an interesting interpretation of fresh, Tabitha. Okay. Tabitha. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. I'm going to go mystical. People have died here, haven't they? I sense a heavy spiritual fog hanging over this room. People have died here, haven't they? When? This house is almost 150 years old. Obviously, people have died here. What's with all the boxes? Old family stuff. Do you need help moving them? Tabitha eyes you up and down for a moment. No. Who used to sleep here? Like I said, this house is almost 150 years old. Many, many people have slept here. And now you'll sleep here, carrying on the fine tradition of bedrooms being slept in. Alright, Tabitha. I don't think I'm gonna get anything out of you. I guess I'll start to get settled. Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. Tip: some dialogue options will open additional conversation paths, some right away, and others down the line. Where are you going? To work. Someone has to pay the bills around here. What kind of work do you do? I run the coal mine, same as every Scarlet who came before me, except for you and your mom. It requires a lot of time and concentration, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep me for long. I didn't know we owned a coal mine. We don't own the coal mine. I own the coal mine. Your mother forfeited any claim to it years ago. Can I come watch? Good for you. Sounds boring. That's kind of sad. Ew, gross. Hashtag girl boss. I mean, I'm gonna go good for you. No reason to be rude. That sounds pretty impressive and exciting. Good for you. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I don't think of it as a boring or exciting. In the same way, I don't think of cleaning a toilet or painting a wall as either of those things. It's a task. Oh, I can snipe her about the toilet. No, I'm not gonna be mean. I'm a guest. And we don't need any more bad blood between us to begin with. That's a healthy mindset. Seems like a good way to look at a job instead of convincing yourself you have to be doing the thing you love the most. It's okay to just have a job. Yeah, exactly. Would I rather be doing something else with my life? Maybe. But I know I have to take over the company. So why think about all the other stuff I could be doing? I won't keep you, but we should hang out. I mean, I'm not sure if I'll just say that. I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. Alright, I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. We'll see. There's a lot that needs to get done this week. Your cousin goes to the front door. And now it's just you. You and this sprawling, decrepit estate. I can go straight to the Forbidden Wings, but... I mean... I really don't like peanut butter and jelly. I think I'm gonna Settle into my room. I want my stuff to be safe. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble back up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. I'm going to check the closet. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. Oh, there's a doll. I'm gonna pick it up. Of course, you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its tag reads, "Property of Alexandra." No need to carry this with you. You close the closet behind you. I'm gonna look out the window. You can only imagine how beautiful the gardens must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull the weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the birdsong. Yeah, you definitely do that. Just not right now. Look at the painting. This must be an old relative of yours. Very old, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a week ago, so that's not really a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. Put your spare clothes in the dresser. Oh god! You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. An opossum lurks within. It is quiet, but angry. Oh. I'm going to offer it my boiled peanuts. You hold out your still dripping bag of boiled peanuts. The opossum hisses in disgust, stiffens, and begins to drool, feigning death. You close the drawer. You might as well leave it be. You open the top drawer next. It's empty. As good a place as you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you'd have been better off keeping your clothes in your nice, clean bag. But there's no going back now. I'm gonna take a nap. You immediately collapse onto the bed. You're tired enough that being alone in a strange new place won't stop you from passing out. Or so you thought. You cough as a small cloud of dust rises up from the mattress. The sheets might be fresh, but everything beneath them might have been around to see the dawn of civilization. You try to settle in, but the bed is lumpy in strange places, and you can feel the springs pressing through the fabric. You might be tired, but you're far from tired enough to get in more than a few minutes of uncomfortable napping. I've had beds like that. Ugh. Yeah, that's enough. just the description is enough to make me want to leave the bed. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. I'm gonna go for a peanut butter and jelly. You haven't had anything to eat all day. The only thing louder than your stomach right now are the creaks and moans of this ancient place. A PB&J sounds exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. I really don't like peanut butter and jelly. Like, the jelly is too sweet, and the peanut butter is not strong enough to offset it, though maybe that could just be European peanut butter and jelly. Like, they don't mix like the American versions of those foods do. But they're not a favorite of mine. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a daunting task, given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, bread, plates, and a knife. I'm gonna look through the cabinets first, because that's where I keep my peanut butter. This cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishes, and oddly enough, the utensils. I'm gonna look at the mug. It reads, "I was blown away at Blowing Rock, NC." So your aunt and cousin actually traveled sometimes, even if it was only a few hours from the estate. Maybe you can route your return trip through Blowing Rock. Might be nice to see the local sights before heading home. Grab a plate and a butter knife. The bowl's probably for the ice cream that I would be able to steal. All you need now is some actual food. I'm gonna examine the shot glass. It reads, "I survived Deb's 50th. Your aunt's name was Pearlie. Perlan? Perlan? Perline? So this wasn't from her 50th. From the few stories you'd heard of from your mom, Pearlie wasn't the type to have kitschy friends who gave out themed shot glasses at their birthday parties. Oh, maybe it belongs to Janie. You imagine she might need an alcoholic beverage to get through cleaning this place, especially with Tabitha's sour face peering over her shoulder. Close the cabinet. You close the cabinet and look back to the rest of the kitchen. I'm just gonna approach Frou Frou. The cat hisses as you draw near, but remains fastened in place. This is clearly Frou Frou's spot on the counter. I'm gonna back away. You back away from Frou Frou, trying not to make any sudden movements. I'm gonna check the pantry. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. Wow, there's nothing but mac and cheese and peanut butter. Like, I don't even see the jam. Honestly, that might improve the peanut butter and jam. And a dead mouse and a lot of bread. Like, that bread will go bad so quickly, unless it's like that really bad Wonder Bread stuff that never goes bad. I'm gonna look closer. You squint into the darkness of the pantry. Behind the molded bread, a single book lies forgotten, a thin layer of dust collected on its cover. You pick it up. You flip to a bookmarked page. Both Calf's Brain and Aspic are unappetizing enough on their own, but you can only imagine how vile the combination of the two would be. What kind of person would call this their favorite food? No wonder your mom ran far, far away from this place. You shut the book and put it back in its place. I'm gonna take some bread. You pick up one of the non-moldy loaves of bread. Great. One step closer to a satisfying snack. All you need to do now is find some jelly and peanut butter. I'm gonna take the peanut butter. The king of nut butters. And only 3% of each jar is mashed up cockroach. Hey, don't knock the cockroach. They're extra protein. We're gonna have to get used to eating bugs at some point. All you need now is some jelly. Alright, I'm gonna close the pantry. I mean, there's a lot she'd probably notice. You close the pantry door as best as you can and return back to the rest of the kitchen. Like, I already checked the cabinets and the fridge then, I guess? As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading, "Janie, stay out," in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, "Okie dokie." You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. Oh, I know that feel. Open old takeout? Oh, I mean, I want us to look. Why did you do that? What were you expecting? This takeout container is disgusting beyond words. A liquefied mess, wholly congealed in its styrofoam shell. You can't even tell what it used to be. Real talk, I really love looking at, like, fungi and they make such interesting fuzzy shapes. The only thing I don't like about it is that, you know, you have to be paranoid if it actually contaminated all the other things in your fridge. But otherwise, I love it. This substance doesn't just smell bad, it smells ancient. I'm gonna put it back. Your body reacts before you even register what you're doing, compelled by a deep primal disgust. You shove the container back in the fridge, pushing it into the depths of the shelves and out of your mind. Hopefully you can forget it exists and move on with your life. I'm gonna check the mayonnaise. You know you probably shouldn't, but a part of you has to know how old that mayonnaise is. I love mayonnaise. You pick up the jar, its label flaking in your hand. It expired 10 years ago. This jar of mayonnaise is old enough to graduate the 5th grade. Best put it back and forget you ever saw it. Like, honestly, I love me some mayonnaise. It never goes off in my house. Take jelly. You reach for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly, carefully checking its expiration date. You breathe a sigh of relief and you realize it's recent. This was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen Tabitha actually uses. This is the last ingredient you needed to make your peanut butter and jelly. Time to close the fridge and get to work. Yep. I'm not gonna grab the ice cream. Like, Tabitha could murder me in my sleep. I don't know what kind of game this is yet. But, you know, you return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. Make that PB&J! I mean, I kind of want to check out the garden as well, but I'm gonna make the PB&J. Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined your 3 ingredients to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations! You can feed yourself. That's debatable. All of that hassle, and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. I think it's time to check out the garden. This garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. You don't think you want to go out there after all. Are you even up to date on your tetanus shots? Yeah. You close the door behind you and return to the kitchen. Congratulations, you've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? Might as well head to town. There's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. Oh, this is where the horror part comes in. Meeting people from a small town that all know each other without you knowing them back. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop. Especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension. Though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The hauler, as the guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Yep, small towns have that feeling where it's like, wow, there used to be life here and now there's just not. Oh, that's a little pug! Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers! Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be, and she loves to get loose and cause havoc. I don't do too well with dogs. I actually don't do too well with dogs. Oh, don't worry about it. Maybe she can help change that, though. I mean, looking at those eyes... I mean, pugs are already kind of pitiful to me, but those eyes are, like, haunted. If you'd like, you can try petting her. Might make her seem less threatening. I'm going to nervously try to pet the dog. You take a deep breath. You can do this. It's just a little dog, right? You reach out tentatively and pet Gretchen on the head. Her fur is surprisingly soft and warm, and touching her is a not unpleasant sensory experience. She snuffles and wheezes in excitement, and you pull your hand back quickly before she can snap at you. I'm gonna actually turn off the music a little bit because I don't like this beat. Nice. Look at you two hitting it off. You'll overcome your fears yet. Where are my manners? Talking to you for this long without introducing myself? I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? Yep. I just got into town today. Wow. I didn't think there would be anyone else coming. Are you staying with Tabby? How's she holding up? I haven't seen her since Brilliant passed. Or for a while before that, now that I think about it. She's struggling. I don't think she's doing too well. She's been icy, but it feels like she's putting it on as a front. And she's always been a little rough around the edges, to be honest. It's always been hard to tell if that's just the way she is, or if she's just been putting on an act her whole life. To think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself? It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even if she doesn't seem to think so herself. Thanks for letting me know, by the way. Are you two friends? I was probably closer than most people have gotten to being able to call her a friend. School here is really small, so everyone had to at least get along with everyone else. She was a grade ahead of me, but everyone knew her, especially since she's a Scarlet. We wound up bonding a bit when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer's Night's Dream. I was Puck, and she was Mustard Seed. She might have expected. She was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. I mean, I just had a PB&J, but sure, I'll follow. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. AKA my personal hell. all of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's always my personal hell. I get this reaction almost every single time, especially in small towns. Ooh. I'm not a social butterfly, so I'm just gonna stay silent. Hey, this is Tabitha's cousin. She just got into town from the funeral. I'm showing her around. Stella moves to the nearest booth, and you quickly follow. There's no need to be nervous. They won't bite. Look at them gossiping in the background. They're like, a new stranger. As you settle into the booth, you can't help but pick up some of the murmurs of the conversation around you. I'm gonna listen in. Stella pets Gretchen while you take a quick look around the diner. At the counter, 2 policemen and a woman you assume to be the owner shoot sidelong glances in your direction while whispering to each other. That must be Vivian's kid. Never thought we'd actually meet her. Looks so much like her. Oh yeah, those eyes are unmistakable. That haunted look. I always thought it'd go away once she finally got out of this town, but I guess unhappiness was baked into her DNA. Mm-hmm. A young mother and her syrup-stained child sit at the table across from you. Mommy, who's that? Don't stare, Tulip. That must be Miss Tabitha's cousin. Ooh, so that's why she looks so sad. I'd be sad too if I had to have Miss Tabitha as a cousin. You think Tabitha's cousin is mean too? I don't know. I'll find out next time I go visit Miss Tabitha. Are you going to finish your pancakes? They're almost cold, Sweet Pea. And we've got to get home to help Daddy. In the far back corner, a man sits alone at a small table, sipping coffee and reading a paper. Why are the strangers who wander into town never gorgeous blonde ladies of an appropriate age? Why is it always coal boys, punks, and whippersnappers? Lastly, a group of coal miners sit hunched around the corner booth, readily scarfing down heaping plates of food. What do you think? Another young one looking for mine work? No way, clearly don't got the stomach for it. That's gotta be the boss's cousin. There's that funeral this week, if I'm remembering right, for old Miss Pearlian. May she rot in peace. Oh, let the lady rest, Lloyd. One shouldn't speak ill of the dead, no matter how foul they were. Especially before they've so much as been laid to rest. If you'd have been around in her heyday, you'd be speaking ill too, Tommy. He's right. Nastiest woman I've ever met. That Tabitha's a blessing compared to her. Curse the whole lot of them. May every scarlet burn in hell. And that's enough of that. Hey, Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Oh, shucks. Thanks, Avery. Can I have some sugar? Already taken care of. I know you like your coffee drowned in cream and sugar. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Anything for you? I'm going to... I don't really want a coffee, but... Or a biscuit and a coffee. Could I have a biscuit and a coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Best in the country. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and sorry for your loss. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyway, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? It gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral too, so it'll be a special occasion. Is that like a church thing? Is the potluck a church thing? Would it be weird for me to come if I'm not a member? No. The Sunday thing is coincidental. It's actually hosted by the library. Not too many people go to church around here, if I'm being honest. A non-religious community in the rural south? That's gotta be unusual. I know. We must seem like such heathens. But there are plenty of God-fearing people in town. They just aren't the biggest fans of the local church. Well, the building's fine, but the pastor is another story. There's just something a little off about the guy. You'll get what I mean if you ever meet him. And unfortunately, you probably will. Anyway, those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day today, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? Do you have something in mind? Something that's telling me that this is a loaded question, and you've got something in mind. Was I being that obvious? My job means I spend a lot of time in the woods with the camera, and it's always better when someone else is there to... Before Stella can finish, Ava returns, biscuit in tow. Hey, Winnie wanted to give you a biscuit on the house. She sends her condolences. Thanks, it looks great. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You don't even need to taste it to know that it is good. Divinity given a buttery form. Like anything pastry related, if it has a lot of butter, it's almost guaranteed to be awesome. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Okay, that might be a little too much butter. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Whoa, this is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not gonna go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm gonna do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. Oh, okay. She's incredible. You should really give her channel a try, Curio. She hunts cryptids. Oh, honestly, that's dope! How did you know my name? Oh, sorry. It's just that most people in town know about you. Sorry, I'm sure that must seem creepy. Ah well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. The Holler's a small place. Everyone knows everyone. And that includes extended family. That's a little unsettling. Knowing I've been talked about but not knowing what's been said is weird. I'm sure it is, but at least you're here now. Yeah, and anything Pearl-Ann said about you won't hold up meaning to the real you. You can always make good first impression and wipe the slate clean with the whole town. I mean, I am a mysterious, keen-eyed guy who's probably gonna try and do some fucked up shit. I'm gonna just... Oh man, look, I'm sorry I said anything. Hey, I'm sure this is all mortifying, but don't worry about it. Really. Pearl-Ann was a gossip, and would do this sort of thing with everyone. Spreading weird little rumors about folk was kind of her trademark. Anyways, were we in the middle of talking about Stella's illustrious YouTube career? I guess we were, weren't we? I think the best videos to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but you know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that outing at the time, but it wound out being my most popular video by far. So, the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. Then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river. Some folks said it was a beaver. If that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I also had people saying it was a dog, or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw that thing with my own 2 eyes. Oh, that looks like a mountain lion? Ooh. You can make out the shape of the creature's head and its relative body proportions. You're pretty sure it's a mountain lion. I think that's a mountain lion. Can't you see its little kitty cat ears? No, no way. It's absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found jack squat. And there's no reason one would be swimming in the river like this. They're not fans of water. And the body is too long. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries were missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. I love his shirt. Such a nice shirt. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Exactly. Some exotic pet owners hit it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along? It's a pretty easy one this week. You wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Wait, no spoilers! Whoops, sorry Avery. It's okay. I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. What's Skunk Ape? It's like Bigfoot, but smellier. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug-of-war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? Wanna tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against the darkening sky, that sort of thing? Absolutely. I'd love to come along. That's great! It's been a while since I've had anyone besides Gretchen out there with me. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple buddies of mine back in middle school, so it's kind of like a blast from the past. Me and Kanika and Reese running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us. Get the old gang back together. Though I guess Kanika has to come out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese? I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole, if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials, waiting while it rings. Reese, dude, what's up? It feels like it's been forever. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or...? Okay, if you're really sure. But if you change your mind... Oh, I was just calling to ask if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I met someone cool in town today. She's Tabitha's cousin. I know! Yeah, just here for the week. Anyway, we are going out to look for Skunk Ape. We could take the easier trials if that would help. Dang, man, that sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week and we can have more a low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring her. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Looks like it's just you and me, pal. Are you okay? Me? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm more worried about Reese. He's had a lot going on in the past, gosh, 10 years or so, but I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious. You'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. Honestly, yeah, but we'll see. I don't know how much I should commit to doing this week. That's fair, but if you find you have the time, he'd love to meet you. And I think you'd get along. We can talk about making friendship plans later. For now, we got a skunk ape to hunt. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountains before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. He paused before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. After all, it seems everyone in town has heard awful things about you from your now-deceased aunt. I'm gonna leave a generous tip. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously. Oh, that's awesome of you. Avery will appreciate that, I'm sure. Stella turns to leave the diner, with you following close behind. And I think I'm going to end it here for now. The first episode is done and over with. Maybe I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.